Hey, good morning, MVP. Shout out to YouTube, TikTok, anybody watching this video. I'm RicoKnows. People ask me questions, I give them answers. That's what I do. So I had a person reach out and he asked me, hey, Rico, can you explain the NFL antitrust lawsuit in layman's terms? Like, make it simple for us to understand, because all these terms, I really don't know what they mean and what they are. And yeah, man, I want to break it down for you guys. And I think I can do it in a simple, captivating way. I was going to pull up a bunch of graphics and pictures and things, and I thought, nah, man, I'm just going to talk to you guys about it. First and foremost, I want to talk about the picture below. There's a picture below my picture right now, and it says Sunday ticket, 25 years, and then that last part, it says only on DirecTV. And that is the biggest issue, is that it's only on DirecTV. They're bragging about it in front of our face. They're bragging about it in front of our face because what they're trying to say is you must get DirecTV to watch the NFL. Okay? And that in itself is an issue. And I'm going to try to break this down Barney style without going too deep. So, they say the NFL antitrust lawsuit. I want to break down what that means. Antitrust. Okay? So that means against trust. Antitrust. In the 1880s, there was a company that created a trust, and the company was Standard Oil. Now, look, man, I'm talking about over 100 years ago, okay? You had Rockefeller. This guy, Rockefeller, created he created the ability to refine crude oil and create kerosene, and back then, lamps used kerosene everywhere, and then he had some other abilities, but Standard Oil was the only oil company in America. Now, I want to make this clear. Sometimes you get antitrust exemptions. I would say sometimes, like energy companies, if they're providing you with water in your city and you don't have other options, that's possible. There'll be exemptions. But let's just talk back in the 1890s. Standard Oil was this company. It was 1880s, really. And they decided, we're going to buy up all the competition. Every company you see, we're going to buy it up and we're going to turn it into Standard Oil. So now if you want to buy oil, kerosene, whatever, you got to go through Standard Oil. And there's no other option. This would be like if you wanted a cell phone carrier today and everybody has to go through Verizon. You don't have a choice. Verizon's the only company providing you with cell phone capabilities. I want you to think of gas stations. No matter what you do, every gas station you go to is a Shell gas station. There is no competition. And when you create a monopoly, it's not just a board game, it's a real world issue. When you create a monopoly, you have no other options. Therefore, those companies can start to price gouge you. And the profit margin goes insane. The profit margin, you can't complain. This is still an issue with like airlines, right? If you want to take a flight, some carriers don't go that route. You must go through Delta to take a flight from here to there, whatever it is. Like, that sucks, man, because they can raise the price to some absorbent amount that they don't have to be competitive. But when you have multiple companies, when you got Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Cricket, Sprint, whatever, when you have all these different companies, now we have competitive pricing. Now no one can price gouge you. No one can rip you off. So when there was a monopoly going down in the 1880s, 1882 to be exact, is when Standard Oil decided to create a trust. A trust is just, it was a board of executives who then just like started buying up everything and then giving themselves dividends. A whole nother story. So then this guy named Sherman, he was in charge of the Treasury at the time. Sherman decides to go out there and get a bill passed, get an act passed, the Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890. Now, there was flaws with the Sherman Antitrust Act in the sense that it didn't define what a monopoly was. It didn't define what conspiracy was. It didn't define certain violations. But it was created to stop the price gouging and the monopoly of Standard Oil, the American Tobacco Company, and the American Sugar Refining Company. And mind you, the Sugar Refining Company, about 5 years later, it got the Antitrust Act actually got like overturned because it was missing pertinent verbiage, pertinent definitions. So 5 years later, they said, hey, that sugar company, they're not really price gouging you. They're not ripping you off. They just so happen to provide this service, and then you have a choice whether or not you want to buy it from here, there, blah, blah, blah. So fast forward, I've never heard of the Sherman Antitrust Act until I was a teenager. I was a teenager in the 90s, and all of a sudden, everybody was getting computers at home. And if you wanted a computer at home, you needed to have Windows. That was the only operating system you could use because all the software was sold on Windows. There was no Apple, Mac, like that wasn't a thing anymore. It was Windows, 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 and more Windows. There was no Unix. There was no other operating systems that you could use. You had to go through Windows, and it created a monopoly. And I remember hearing about antitrust acts in the 90s because of that. So here we have the NFL, and where they messed up is they went to DirecTV in 1994 and started the Sunday Ticket. And it became this exclusive package that you would buy, but you couldn't watch NFL games unless you had DirecTV and the Sunday Ticket. So DirecTV becomes this trust, if you will. They become this monopoly where you must get DirecTV to get NFL games. Why can't we get other carriers? Well, we can't get other carriers because the NFL owners colluded with DirecTV to provide this package. And then over the years, they've just been price gouging us. And there's no reason to be competitive. Like, if you want to see every NFL game, what do you got to pay? What do you got to pay? They're blacking out local games. You got to pay $300-$400 for a residential. For a residential customer. But if you're a commercial customer, like a bar or a restaurant, they pay absorbent price. They pay way more. So there's this bar in San Francisco called the Mucky Duck. And the Mucky Duck bar had enough. They're paying over $2,300 a month for the NFL Sunday Ticket. And they want to know why there isn't another competitor that they could be paying cheaper amounts. Why does the NFL have a monopoly going with the Sunday Ticket? So then they sue the NFL. Antitrust Act, and it becomes a whopping lawsuit. So within 2 years, the lawsuit gets thrown out of court because these judges are humans, bro. These judges can be bought. These judges are not, they're not on the up and up. They're corrupt. And you have 32 billionaires in a room just cooking up the cheating, bro. Just cooking up. They're just sitting over there going, yeah. What's the biggest, you thought Standard Oil was the biggest company in America? What's the most popular thing to watch on TV today? Football. And we only can watch it through one channel. That is a monopoly. That is in violation of the Antitrust Act like a mother flipper, bro. And they've been with the same company for 25 years. We must buy DirecTV or we don't get to watch the games. That is a monopoly. And they can all plausible deniability. They're all playing dumb like, oh, it wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. So a judge throws out the lawsuit within 2 years, just throws it out. And Mucky Duck don't care. They're going to keep appealing. Mucky Duck's going to keep appealing. And eventually Mucky Duck wins. They win the lawsuit. And when you win the lawsuit, they actually won $4 billion. You see how they write $14 billion? It wasn't $14 billion. It was $4 billion. But if you read the fine print on the Antitrust Act, the federal government can multiply the finding by up to 3 times. So that's how you get to that $14.1 billion. It got multiplied 3 times over. The NFL's not going to go down without a fight. So what it really came down to is like $900 million was being awarded to the commercials, to the businesses. $900 million being awarded to 66,000 businesses. And then you had all the residential customers. They were all going to get awarded damages. Essentially get paid back, like you get all your money back. These guys ripped us off. This is one gas station all across America, and every gallon of gas is $8. You go to one gas station, it's $8. You go to another one, it's still $8. Why? Because they don't have to be competitive with each other. They're all owned by the same company. That's exactly what the NFL did with this Antitrust Act, or with DirecTV, Sunday Ticket, excuse me. So everything was cool. You won the lawsuit. So the NFL then appeals. They appealed to Philip Gutierrez. Philip Gutierrez, this dude right here. What a disgrace to mi gente, right? This guy, bro, goes out there and overturns the lawsuit in favor of the NFL. In other words, you ain't got to pay this, owners. You're good. Well, why? Why did he overturn it? He said, oh, well, two of the witnesses, if they didn't testify the way they did, the NFL would have won this lawsuit. No reasonable jury would have found the NFL guilty of this stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Bro, are you kidding me? It's clear as day. Oh, what's this? Gutierrez retires October 15th, 2024. Homie's about to retire, and he just hijacked us. And I say us because the average person, the average adult, has paid for Sunday ticket at some point in their lifetime. I really believe that. I know I have, at least twice. And for them to do this to everybody is absurd. And he did it, bro. This guy right here with a smile on his face. If you see him in the grocery store, shoulder check him, bro. The rich helping the rich. Everybody can be bought. And yes, the NFL was colluding. Oh, by the way, NFL owners, to prove they're not a monopoly and they're not only with Sunday Ticket anymore and DirecTV, they just did a deal with YouTube TV this year. What a coincidence. After 25 years only on DirecTV, Sunday Ticket, now they magically are on YouTube TV. Now they magically got competition. They magically found a different deal. It's BS, bro. It's been a monopoly for a minute, and I'm just glad the mucky duck in San Francisco had something to say about it. I hope you learned about this. I hope I explained it as best I could. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Stay up, y'all. Peace.